Your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald, where we explore how industry shocks, from assembly lines to storefronts, reshape the vehicles we drive. May 2025. American retail is in crisis. Walmart is raising alarms, Ross is feeling the heat, Target is treading carefully, and Apple faces a tariff storm threatening its global empire. What's shaking retailers today could soon shift the auto world through disrupted supply chains, rising costs, and policy pressure. Let's rev up and dive into the developments. Walmart's high-stakes maneuvering in the tariff storm. Walmart isn't just America's largest retailer, it's the heartbeat of the U.S. economy. With over 4,600 stores and a workforce that rivals the population of some states, every move it makes sends shockwaves through the retail world. Now, CEO Doug McMillon is warning that price hikes are inevitable as tariffs, some reaching 50%, drive up the cost of imported goods. Over 40% of Walmart's inventory comes from tariff-hit regions like China, Mexico, and the EU. Everyday essentials, groceries, toiletries, school supplies, are becoming more expensive to stock, threatening the company's identity as the king of low prices. President Trump's response? He told Walmart to eat the cost. But with razor-thin profit margins, the numbers simply don't add up. Walmart is scrambling behind the scenes, phasing out aluminum-based packaging, reevaluating suppliers, and restructuring logistics. This is more than a reaction. It's a reinvention of its retail playbook, and reputation matters. If Walmart falters on price, public trust could erode. In a politically charged year, that trust may prove harder to protect than its bottom line. But Walmart's not the only one under strain. Ross Stores is also feeling the heat as it tries to hold its discount edge. Ross Stores, discount darling now under pressure. Ross Stores has quietly been a pillar of American retail, offering name-brand style at budget-friendly prices across more than 2,200 locations nationwide. But in 2025, its off-price model is under pressure like never before. With inflation lingering and tariffs tightening their grip, Ross is fighting to maintain its edge. CEO Jim Conroy recently revealed a critical vulnerability. Over 50% of Ross's merchandise comes from China, now the epicenter of steep U.S. tariff hikes. The impact is clear. Net income dropped 2%, and store foot traffic fell by nearly 3%. The discount magic that fueled Ross's growth is dimming. Ross may soon be forced to raise prices on seasonal goods and accessories. Conroy insists these hikes will be strategic, but even small increases could drive away loyal, price-sensitive shoppers. Investors reacted swiftly. Shares fell 11% after earnings. Analysts warn the company is structurally exposed. While Ross is exploring new sourcing in Southeast Asia, those shifts take time. If Ross stumbles, it won't just affect profits. It could ripple through the entire value-driven retail sector. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. And speaking of global supply chains under siege, Apple is now staring down one of its toughest challenges yet. Apple's supply chain under siege. When Apple feels pressure, global markets take notice. Known for design excellence and supply chain mastery, the tech titan now finds itself in defensive mode. President Trump has proposed a 25% tariff on foreign-made Apple products, including iPhones, a move that strikes at the heart of Apple's global production network. Apple's manufacturing web spans China, India, and Southeast Asia. Relocating assembly to the US isn't just logistically complex. It could push iPhone prices past $3,000, a cost many consumers simply won't bear. CEO Tim Cook acknowledged the looming hit on Apple's Q2 2025 earnings call, revealing the company expects nearly $1 billion in tariff-related expenses even before the latest levies are enforced. Apple is scrambling to diversify production lines and negotiate exemptions, but speed is not on its side. This goes beyond profit. Apple now symbolizes the debate over whether U.S. companies can or should reshore manufacturing. If Apple complies, others may follow. If it resists, a political standoff looms. Investors are already spooked. Product delays and stock dips suggest the foundation of Apple's industrial edge is being tested. But while Apple wrestles with costs and politics, Target is walking a tightrope of its own, carefully avoiding both price hikes and presidential ire. Target's balancing act: holding prices without inviting a political blowback. Target, a staple of middle-class American retail, is facing the same headwinds as Walmart and Ross, but with a more measured approach. With over 1,900 stores and a robust online presence, Target imports around half of its merchandise, making it highly vulnerable to ongoing tariff hikes. Rather than making headlines, CEO Brian Cornell struck a calm yet cautionary tone in the latest earnings call, warning of massive potential costs. Still, he assured consumers that Target would pursue every available option, tweaking product assortments, renegotiating with suppliers, and limiting increases, before considering broad price hikes. Raising prices is a last resort, Cornell emphasized. This low-profile strategy is intentional. Target understands the risks of provoking Washington's ire. Retail giants like Amazon, Walmart, and Apple have already been targets of political backlash. Target's restraint may be its best defense. Behind the scenes, however, pressure is building. From delaying home goods to quietly adjusting furniture prices, Target is walking a delicate line. In today's volatile climate, staying affordable is only half the battle. Staying politically invisible may be just as vital. And if these household names are struggling, what does that say about the system as a whole? Let's zoom out. Wider ripples. How tariffs are rewiring the retail engine. The disruption hitting Walmart, Ross, Apple, and Target is just the surface tremor of a deeper economic shift. Tariffs, once diplomatic bargaining chips, have become blunt instruments reshaping the entire U.S. consumer economy, impacting how goods are made, moved, and marketed. At major ports like Long Beach and Savannah, container traffic has slowed dramatically. Customs backlogs and rerouted shipments have jammed what was once a high-speed logistics machine. Supply chains are no longer nimble, they're strained and sluggish. On the manufacturing front, Chinese suppliers are slashing output, laying off workers, and missing delivery windows. Even backup production hubs like Vietnam are maxed out, leaving American retailers cornered. Consumers are already reacting. A Numerator survey shows over 80% of Americans are now delaying purchases, avoiding imports, and hunting for deals, behavior that drags down retail margins and stifles demand. Meanwhile, state leaders are warning of a $180 billion hit to consumer spending. But the White House remains firm on tariffs, pushing for domestic manufacturing. This isn't a temporary disruption, it's an economic realignment with far-reaching consequences. So, what's the bottom line? Let's bring it home. Final verdict. A sector at the crossroads. Walmart is rewriting its logistics strategy. Ross is trying to hold the discount line. Target is carefully navigating political pitfalls. And Apple is confronting a tariff storm. These aren't just retail stories. They're signals of broader economic pressure and shifting global dynamics. This isn't a short-term bump. It's a full-on stress test of American supply chains, pricing models, and consumer loyalty. Beyond the boardrooms, everyday Americans are feeling the pinch. Families budgeting groceries, students rethinking tech upgrades, and small businesses wrestling with unstable costs. As tariffs drag on, the road ahead looks anything but smooth. What do you think? Will prices eventually return to normal, or not? Should companies eat the cost or pass it on? Is reshoring a smart move or a costly misstep? Drop your answers in the comments below. We're revved up to hear your insights. And don't forget, subscribe to Highway Herald for the latest updates on how economic shifts, vehicle trends, and retail dynamics intersect. Hit that bell so you're always first on the track. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting for you.